All right, so we got some glassing going on here on the stringers. I went up about 4 inches on each side on the hull and on the stringer. I'm coming back and going all the way to the top. They're not going to really overlap on the bottom, but just get more coverage on the hull. So I kind of went back and forth on how many layers to do. With one layer at the base, these stringers aren't going anywhere. I mean, they're solid as a rock. So I think I'll be fine just doing 2 layers of 1708 biaxial with the resin. Yeah, so I'm gonna get spreading some resin. I'm ready to be done with this end of the boat and start working on the front over there. But it's been a definite learning curve for sure, but I think I've gotten down to a science where it's going a lot smoother than previously. So we'll back to work. Alright, it is now the day after I finished up glassing in the back 50 inches of the stringers. Kind of messed up big time. I don't know what I did wrong with this middle stringer here, but it sorry for the noise. It's got a lot of air in it, so that needs to be refinished. I did some experimenting on the other side already. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off. It's a little trick that I figured out on the other side. Probably not the right way to do it. I'll probably get a lot of criticism, but it's gonna get the job done. So with nothing more left to do and I'm tired of looking at how bad this turned out, I'm gonna try and unscrew myself and fix this. Alright, well, that went pretty smooth, but took 90% of the air bubbles out. The other side looks like here. So now I'm going to reattempt to glass this thing in the right way and hopefully not make this mistake ever again. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if I didn't have enough resin when I'm going to have to go back and look at the video from last night. I haven't even uploaded it yet, but I don't know if I didn't put enough resin in it, if I didn't spread it good enough, or what. So I guess you live and you learn when it comes to doing stuff like this, especially with my very, very minimal lack of, well, not minimal lack of, but very minimal knowledge on how to fix boats. So anyways, I'm gonna get back to this, hopefully tighten this sucker up. I want to be able to sit the floor in here so I have something to walk on today, and then finish up with the front of the boat. But yeah, that's where we're at. Alright, so today I am finishing up the front stringers. I've already got 3 of them in. Well, not finishing them up. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with this middle string right here. I got to put the tank in here, get some measurements, see where I want it before I go ahead and put that one in. However, these 2 over here, they are set in place. Got a little sloppy with the cavasil over on the outside, but it's sturdy, it's not going anywhere. I haven't glassed them in. I'm just mixing up some cavasil, chopped strand fibers, and just thickened epoxy, well, not thickened epoxy, but thickened resin. Pouring it down here in this little channel that I left, and it's pretty stiff. I'm gonna come over, you know, glass it and encapsulate it, and I think right here I got leftover pieces of Coosa. I'll probably just join these 2 together before I glass them in permanently, just to give some extra structural rigidity with them, since it's, you know, 2 broken pieces here in addition to glassing it. So yeah, that's what I got. I'm gonna see if I can do some more glassing on these today. It's like super freaking hot outside. It's
I would say it's probably close to 95 degrees out here in Virginia. Super humid. We've got the fan going, but it's a lot. And I'm really itchy because I can't wear like long sleeves doing this shit. It's so darn hot. But yeah, it's staying hydrated, playing fiberglass, and we'll get there. So we'll do all of that fast forward shit, so you don't have to sit here and watch me pour it all. So, all right. The stringers in the front are in. So I got the first stringer in over here, glassed in. It came out pretty nicely. I didn't get the hull as smooth as I would have liked to have gotten it, but I'm gonna put like 2 more layers, well, 1 more big layer for sure, maybe 2. We'll see. This shit's not going anywhere. Good the old Cavasil shit and filled up these extra little holes here. Made a nice little bead that runs down there, so that way the 1708 won't like doesn't like 45-degree angles. So I've been mixing up this milled fibers, 1/32 milled fibers with some of the chopped strand here, and do like a, see, a quart did this whole stringer, which is about 12 feet long, I think. Did both sides, filled in some of these little gaps in here. I'm gonna come back and brace this in later once it's all fiberglass in. I was gonna do it beforehand, but I'm gonna put glass on it and then come back and then brace these joints right here. I'm also gonna have some I don't know what the term is, knees or supports going in between the stringers in some various locations. Like in the very back there, I left it open just for access. I'm probably going to put one in there at the end of this stringer right here. This one that's in there probably ends right at about there, and it's just soft back there, so I'm going to do that. Excuse the mess, but we're making progress. The goal is to have these stringers in, I was said today, but that's a shit ton of fiberglass in that I have, and it's cooled down a little bit, not as hot as it was earlier this afternoon, but it's just so time consuming, and I want to make sure I do it right. So we'll see what happens after I get this stringer in, if I can start on the this one over here. But I've still got some sanding to do. I got to clean up some of this excess foam shit that's left in there that I guess I didn't get to previously. So got a lot of work ahead, but we're slowly making progress, and that is key. So if you enjoy watching me lay some fiberglass, I'm gonna try not to screw this up too bad. I'm worried about this little knuckle right here, but worked out fine on that side. We'll see what we can do. Alright, well, these port side stringers have their initial glassing completed. I have started on the back side. You probably can't see it too well, but I've come in and overlapped the glass up here on all the way to the top of the stringer. I'm not 100% sure on what I'm going to do about the top yet. Or how many more layers. I honestly think I'm probably just going to do 2 layers of glass on this, just because it's so stiff with just these 2 layers. The Coosa board, I mean, it's I've secured it into the actual hull using Cavasil, the epoxy mixed with the milled fibers, and I mean, this thing is not going anywhere. I mean, these pieces aren't even connected right here, and they're very sturdy. The Coosa board, call me optimistic or whatever, I'm trying to save myself some time, save myself some weight. I don't think that it's going to affect the overall, was it dexterity or, you know, just ruggedness of the hull. I think it's it's not going to go anywhere. I hope not. If it does, then I'll just consider this an ultimate fail and I'll never do this again. But everyone that I've been talking to, you know, they said, you know, these 2 layers to secure them to the hull, and then you know, overlapping, not really tabbing or whatnot. I'm just rambling on and on. But anyways, we're finishing up this stringer here. I'd like to get started on this one this evening as well, but you know, it's just so hot out here and it's humid and the stuff isn't curing as quick as I would like it to, which is kind of the exact opposite issue I've been having all summer pretty much. So I've, you know, adjusted the MEKP to polyester resin a little bit. I think I was putting too much in it first and it was just flashing like that, and then having the fan on it too probably wasn't helping the cause. But anyways, it's turning out well. This side, you know, it's almost done. I've slowly but surely getting there. So I'm gonna go ahead and lay some more fiberglass, get all sticky. Trying to make some errors. I completely screwed up this piece here, but on the other side last night I wet it down over here on some trash bags, got it nice wet, you know, all the polyester, or not the polyester, but all the resin soaked into the mat. I went and laid it down and it was just a nightmare. Like, it was starting to expand in different ways. It wasn't maintaining its form. So I've been doing this process where I put it up there, wet it down on this side, get it stuck on the bottom down here, which I'll show you how I do it, you know, in the next little time lapse. And then I'll pour the resin along the back side, then just slowly work it into that mat on the back, get it absorbed, and then I'll start rolling out the air bubbles. And then by that time, the polyester resin, whatever that scientific term is that breaks down the fibers on the back side, the mat, it starts to permeate that woven 1708 biaxial cloth, and it gets it nice and wet. The bubbles that you're seeing now are bubbles that I kind of left in the initial one. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I just didn't get around to cleaning them. They're flush. They're not going anywhere. If anything, I'll just take a syringe, inject some epoxy in there, or not epoxy, but inject some resin in there. Saw a guy on the Instagram doing that, said it worked well for small little air pockets. I'm not worried about this delaminating whatsoever, just because I've put so much resin on this Coosa. So I'm gonna get back to work. I ended last night on a bad note. I had maybe 1 or 2 too many bush lattes while I was out here working, and it was late, I was hot. I normally don't drink, but it's one of those days. Cutting out the 1708 to go in that stringer right there on the side that's facing us to finish the well, there you go, side it's facing us, that stringer there. And well, I cut it backwards, and I was making the last cut, and if I put in the video or not, I realized it at the wrong time. So I said, you know what, that's it, I'm done. We're gonna start over again tomorrow on a fresh note. Hopefully we're gonna cut it the right way. Well, we hit our first roadblock. Apparently when you cut resin that's already been catalyzed, it seizes up your scissors. So don't forget to clean off your scissors with acetone when you're done cutting resin that's been catalyzed. Hopefully I can work these things loose, because the woman is not going to like it if I use her kitchen scissors to cut this stuff. Sorry for all the background noise. AC's running, woman's cutting the grass. I'm a degenerate, I know. Doing something that I've been neglecting for a long time, because I hate doing it, but I got a sand in here. I've mentioned it a couple times before. I've got to clean this all up, get all that extra little, I don't know what is in here, but there's just a lot of goop and foam and leftover shit that needs to go. So it's like 94 degrees out here today. It's hot as hell. It's like 90% humidity. It's Thursday, so it's not Friday yet, and I just want to get this done. So I'm gonna go ahead and have a little sanding party. I got these little flapper wheels I'm gonna put on the 4-inch grinder, right? 4.5-inch grinder, and tear some shit up. Hopefully not burn a hole through the bottom of the boat, because that would be really bad. But I just want to make sure this layer of 1708 goes down really nice and smooth, like the port side. So we got some cleaning to do. Hopefully it doesn't take too long. There's not many spots. I did a rough sand before, but there's some spots back there where I got crazy with the cabosil, and yeah, it's just ugly, and I don't like the way it looks. So we're gonna work some magic with the sander and get this done right. So here we go. Well, what a mess that was. It's freaking hot out. It was no really good way to do this. Try and avoid the camera or the shadow. But you saw before, there was just a bunch of leftover foam, excess fiberglass. It looked like chop strand matting, and there were a couple spots that looked like they were possible spots where they were starting to delaminate from the hull. So I went ahead and cleaned them up. I'm gonna be putting some extra glass in there just to buff them up and make sure this problem doesn't become a problem down the road. And you can see there are a couple little air bubbles. This thing was built in 79, so they didn't have the technology that we have today, but I still think they did a really good job. I mean, this hull is it's sturdy. It's not going anywhere, for sure. So hopefully the next couple days I can get this side to look like this side. I am still, I don't know what to do as far as this top here. 1708 does not like to lay over 90 degrees. I've got a router with a curved bit, I guess, and I've been told, you know, take that along here, curve it, lay a piece over top to encapsulate it. I don't know. It's I'm gonna do some more YouTubing and figure out what I need to do. And then I'm also gonna put some extra joists, or not joists, but just extra support along the middle here where the console is gonna go, and beef it up a little bit. And then hopefully I can get the tank in here and start test fitting that, figuring out where that's gonna go. Still feel like I'm gonna try and push it as far forward as I can. And then I guess we'll take it from there. That way we can even out the weight. But there's a lot of weight in here. I've got a lot of resin, and I've still got a lot more resin to go. And fiberglass mat, and then the center console, and then the T-top that I'm putting on it. It's going to be a lot of extra weight. But I'm also saving weight doing the Coosa stuff. Anyways, I'm going to go take a shower. I feel like absolute crap right now. I've sweat out like, I don't know how much water. Like all my clothes are soaked. And that Tyvek suit, it works really well. I mean, I don't feel itchy, thankfully, but man, it does not breathe at all. So hopefully we'll get some glassing done tomorrow, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Nothing else. I'm ready to be done. Sorry, this camera thing's not working. I'm ready to be done with this thing. So thanks for watching.